Well, hello. I'm just going to try to finish up some of my video here. I got on, this is number 3 is what I'm doing right now. And let's see if I can't finish it up. And it's harder for me to, I found out, to make these videos than it is to make these flutes. These videos taking me forever. Going to show you today what I did in the garage. It's already been taped. It's already what I did in the garage, and I put them in order. And a little bit today about the router. And I'm going to talk about router safety. Something that you'll want to know. You'll want to hear this thing. And don't forget, I'm not done yet. Even after this number 3, I still got probably going to stuff in everything on number 4 and try to finish it up. And so watch this video. Hey, why don't you subscribe and like it, and maybe make a comment. If you listen to the comments I make about the router, see what you think. And that's about it. That's about it. Hey, no, wait a minute. You know what? I've made about 15 flutes, and this one that I played today was a black walnut one, and that's my favorite one so far. Now I've got I gave away almost all of them so far, but this is a keeper. I made this one, this small one. This is a key of C, and it's a very small one. Boy, did it sound good. And it has a little black walnut insert in there in the top. Now, I thought that was pretty cool, so I kept this, and you see he's shorter. And then I have the big one, the first one I made. And this one's made out of, I can't even fit them on here. And this one's made out of redwood, out of a redwood 4x4 I had laying around. And he sounds really good too. He's F sharp, so he's pretty high pitched, or low pitched I mean. And then I have some other ones that I'm going to give away. This is a cherry flute, and this is a G sharp flute, and I'm going to give this to someone special. And I've got this one here for one of the kids, and this one here, I got it all written on it. It's a key of C, and it's a little bit higher pitched than the others. It's smaller end, but these are the ones that I got left now, and I got one left, and I got another one. And this is made out of, I believe it's white pine. It was some sort of trim. And look at that. Look at that on top. And who do you think I'm going to give this to? And maybe put it in the comment if you want to make a guess. All right? Who do you think gets the one with the chicken? Okay. God bless you, and watch the video. So here's where I'll get started. Here's where I'll get started. I'll find some wood that'll work for me. Make a flute. This is a pretty good flute. This is going to be a flute, not today. This is a piece of cherry wood, and I'm going to end up cutting it in half. And I do that on my table saw, my old trusty table saw. This has been with me for a while, and I end up with all these pieces. This is, first I'll rip it in half. And then I'll rip it to the exact width that I want. Pretty close to it. I don't want to do it exact width. And then I'll take it over to my planer and precisely get them to the exact size that I want. I got a little trick I learned from some Finnish carpenters. See, I get these pretty close, and I take all of these, hold them tight, and I'll put them all, so long as I hold it tight and push it down, I can get every one of these to the same thickness at one time, this way. And I don't go on, I go both sides. I'll go this way, I'll get it a little deeper, and I'll turn it over to smooth both sides exactly what I want. And that's how I get the width of these pieces of wood. The thickness, we really have to only put one or two at a time, and I'll just put one or two next to each other, and that takes care of itself on the thickness. And you end up with a perfectly square blank. If I hold it like this, this is equal to that. And that's what I'm shooting for. Now these are kind of rough. I could make different size holes. I made it a little bit big. I think I could make up to a 1-inch flute hole, but probably won't go past 7/8. I might try a 7/8 in here. And I want to make some small ones, like 9/16 or 5/8, and I want to make some smaller ones just to see what they sound like. And so, but this is a blank of what I'm doing, and I've got these all lined up. I got about 7 of them lined up. I got several more I can do, and just to show you what I do in my garage. And a lot of you don't have all this stuff. I even have a straight planer, just a planer over there that'll help me if I got a bend in it. You got to make it straight first. And that's what that one's for. Then over there farther, I've got a drill press, and I use it to put. If I want to put a hole in it, I've already put the sound hole in this one. I just went over to the drill press, put a small one in, and I went straight down. And that's what the drill press does for me, perfectly straight down. And later I'll come out here and I'll drill the holes with about I don't know, I think it's like a 3/16 hole, and then you get it bigger to a 1/4 inch about, and that's what I'll do on the drill press. So all of my tools, I've been blessed with a lot of tools. The Lord has given me a lot of tools, and I've learned to use them. That's the trick, learn to use them. And also got a chop saw. If I go real slow on the chop saw, the ends of these will be satin smooth, and I won't have too much sanding to do on the ends. And it's hard to get the ends nice and smooth, but if I go slow, it works really good. And that's what I'm doing out in the garage. I got this started now. I'm going to go in the house now, and I'm going to finish up the sound hole, basically the sound hole, and then the air hole. It gets angled down. Well, hello. I'm in my garage. I want to show you a little bit of the router work. Now this is a very dangerous part and to do, and if you really don't know how to do it, don't do it. Buy a flute from somebody. Call me up. Maybe I'll make one. I'm not a flute maker, but if you really want one, and if you know who I am, then call me up. Bring me a piece of wood, and maybe I can make a flute out of it. That's what I'm going to try to do. So, but don't do it if you can't do a router. I talked to a fella, and he had a finger that wasn't there anymore. And I asked him, well, what happened? And he wouldn't tell me. But I said, what kind of tool? He says, the router. See, the router, and I just could imagine a bit like I have here, taking a finger all the way off. It would be gruesome. That's, you'd think you're pretty bad with a table saw and a chop saw. With a table saw and a chop saw, it comes off and you don't even know it. This would tear you up. All right, just to let you know, very much pain. And if you don't know what you're doing, and if you're afraid, don't go out buying a router so you could make a flute. Big mistake. Don't do it. All right? Buy a flute. You're much better off. But if you wanted a special wood, if you have a piece of wood at home and you wanted to make it out of some mahogany or some cherry or something, then you find a flute maker that is good at it. I've gotten about 15 flutes now, and I'm still don't consider myself a flute maker. They all sound good. And the black walnut one, wow, it really sounds good. But I'm not a professional flute maker, all right? I'm an amateur flute maker, and it takes a long time to make one of these things. All right, I want to show you what I do, though, just so you could see exactly what I do, so you'll understand how dangerous it could be. All right, I'm at my router table now, and I want to show you. It has a round router bit. This particular one's a 1/2 inch, but it's the last one I used. But what you have to do, which makes it a little dangerous, is I have a fence, and I'm not turning this on. I have marks on it, you see, where the hole needs to be. And then I have marks on my router table where they need to stop. And then this is the hard one. I have to put something in here, and then I have to go a little bit and then stop, take it up. But what you do is you start it over here and you run it through like this. Now the router is trying to fight you a little bit, so you have to be in control of the wood. And I only do a little bit at a time. See, this is if it's a 3/4 inch hole, its total is going to be 3/8, but I only do 1/8 at a time. I'll go 1/8, then 1/2, then 3/4 deep, then 3/8 deep, excuse me. And then, but then I'll take it to this line here, because that's where the router bit is. And then I have to stop. Then I have to pick it up like this, take it over, and I have to start again. There's the dangerous part. That thing's spinning, and you got your hands here, all right? And you got to stay out of the way. And then you bring it over to this stop. And then where the line lines up here, and you pick it up. When it gets real shaky, and when the wood is funny, I have a switch, and I'll turn the router off. I'll turn it off before I pick this last section up. I won't go and do that. Just turn the switch off, and then I'll wait. And that's how you put this in, this groove in here. And it costs a bunch for the bits. They're $20 to $30 a piece, and right now I've invested in about three different sizes. I'm a problem. Okay, and that's what I want to show you today. Okay, I'm in the garage, and I want to show you one more thing. I'll put it on the end of the video, I think, and how I make the holes, and it helps me to tune them better. I'll use a heated rod, and if you can, I've got it heating right here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn off the gas. Oops. You could see, yeah, you could see. It's glowing red. And I've already drilled a little hole on the drill press. It's a small hole, but then I'll put this in here. Starts it on fire even. And this is how I'll tune the holes. And I've got this 1/4 inch. I won't put it all the way through. Most of the time I don't. But just put it part way through. And then I'll sound it, blow through it, sound it, and then I'll make it bigger. All right. Then I have another one. It's That's what this one here. The first one was a quarter. This is 5/16, and you don't. If I'm doing good, that's about as big as I want them. I don't want them bigger than 5/16. Some of them got a little bit bigger, but 5/16 is my goal. So then I'll use these. The top two usually are about 5/16, and the bottom three are quarter. That's just how they work out. Then I'll heat this one up, stick it in here, and make it up to 5/16. And that's how I make the holes now. Way better than drilling. It makes this around the inside edges a hole, no fuzzies at all, and it makes the wood hard. So, which is a good quality on makes it a good quality flute. All right, and that's here. This is what I do in my garage, and I'm trying to show you everything I do. All right, God bless you.